All right, let's talk about a big, scary number. A number that's been freaking a lot of people out. Today, we're going to bust a myth. We're going to get to the bottom of what's really happening with the supply. So let's get right into it.
Okay, there it is. $300,000. You've probably seen this staring back at you from the stats page, right? Labeled Pool Payout. And let's be honest, when you see a number that big, your stomach kind of drops. It just screams danger, like a huge wave of sell pressure is about to crash down on us.
And that leads to the million-dollar question, or I guess the $300,000 question, right? Could this number actually kill the project? I mean, if all of that got sold off at once, what would happen? It's a totally fair question, and it's exactly what we're going to figure out.
But what if that number isn't what it looks like at all? What if it's one of the most misunderstood things in this whole ecosystem? Seriously. We're about to pull back the curtain and show you what's really going on here. It's time to bust this myth.
So, what even is pool payout? Well, here's the absolute key. It's a budget. That's it. Think of it like an on-paper accounting number. It's the total amount the protocol has set aside to be paid out over time. It is not, and you got to remember this, the amount that's actually being sold today.
Okay, to really nail this down and make it super clear, let's forget the crypto jargon for a second. We're going to use a simple analogy. Think of it like a bakery. Trust me, this is going to make everything click into place and show you exactly why that $300,000 isn't the monster you think it is.
So picture this digital bakery. Their plan for the month is to bake 1,000 cakes. That's our payout, the total budget for cakes. But, and this is crucial, they don't just dump all 1,000 cakes on the counter on the first day. No way. What they do is they bake the whole batch, but then they immediately stick 990 of them into a massive freezer with a big locked sign on it. That leaves just 10 fresh cakes on the shelf, ready to be sold today.
And those 10 cakes, the ones actually walking out the door, that is our other key term, daily released. This right here is the number you really need to watch. It's the actual, real amount of tokens that are unlocked and can be sold on any given day. Not the 1,000 in the back, just the 10 on the shelf.
All right, let's bring it back and put these two numbers right next to each other. On one hand, you have the payout. That's our entire cake budget, the whole $300,000. But then you have the released, the actual cake sold today, which is only about $5,000. You see the difference? It's huge. One is a big, scary number on a spreadsheet. The other is the actual pressure hitting the market each day.
Okay, so the obvious question now is, why? Why are 99% of the cakes locked up in the freezer? What's the point of that? Is it some kind of mistake, or is this all part of the plan?
Oh, it is 100% part of the plan. And to understand why, we need another quick analogy. Think of an iceberg. You know how most of it is hidden underwater? Well, the token supply is a lot like that. The vast majority of it is meant to be frozen solid, locked up, providing stability.
And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at this chart. It lays it all out. Check out the supply breakdown. You've got 55% that's staked. That's the massive frozen part of our iceberg. Then 27% is in the LP, kind of like the water around it. 13% is just burned, gone, which leaves this tiny little slice,
which is just 5%. That's it. Only 5% of the entire supply is actually liquid and available to be traded. This is the tip of the iceberg, the slush on top of the water. This is the only part that can actually be sold day to day. And this is where that daily released number comes from.
So what's the bottom line here? It's actually pretty simple. If you've been stressing out about that big payout number, you've been watching the wrong number. It's like you've been staring at the whole iceberg, worried it's going to hit you, when you really should have just been watching the little bits of ice floating on the surface.
You know, the source material on this says it best, and this is the one thing you should burn into your brain. Ignore payout for risk, watch daily released. That is the only number that can hurt you. That's it. That's the whole game. It's how you go from being worried to being smart about what's happening.
So let's do this. Let's just mentally delete that big, scary red number. And let's replace it with the real number. Not $300,000, but $5,000. This is the actual manageable amount of daily unlocks. This is the number that shows the real risk. See, it's not about chaos. It's actually about a very controlled system.
Look, just knowing the difference between these two numbers is a huge deal. It totally changes how you see the project's health, right? It just goes to show you can't always trust the big headline number. So I'll leave you with this thought. Now that you know the right number to watch, What other secrets are hiding in the data just waiting for you to find them?